Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport. After a very busy weekend of Formula 1, which was manic and very hard to keep track of what was going on with cancellations and delays and rain and stuff, we were lucky there wasn't a lot else on. But in this video we will be looking at the final round of the World Endurance Championship for 2024, the 8 Hours of Bahrain, the penultimate round of NASCAR from Martinsville, where we find out who the final four were going to be, the penultimate round of Super GT from Motegi, and the final rounds of Formula Regional Americas. That just didn't need to happen at COTA. So with all that still to get through, make sure you subscribe and let's jump into the video.
The World Endurance Championship was pretty much settled in the favour of Penske Porsche after their win in Fuji. One Ferrari and one Toyota are still in with a very slim chance, but they need the number 6 Porsche to retire. So with no title fight to speak of in the hypercar, the fight for second is between the aforementioned Ferrari and Toyota. And Porsche, Ferrari and Toyota are fighting over the Constructors' title, which will be the most interesting battle of the weekend. This will be the first time since 2017 that Toyota have not won the World Endurance Championship. Strangely, it was Porsche who beat them. These two manufacturers are the only winners of the World Endurance Championship since Audi won it in 2013. Toyota are the kings of the 8 Hours of Bahrain, winning 9 of 12 previous races. So it'll be a massive shock when Ferrari take the win. The number 51 Ferrari of James Collado, Antonio Giovinazzi and Alessandro Pierguidi will take their first win of the year and give Ferrari second place in the manufacturer's title. Expect more good things here from Alpine and BMW. One of them will get a podium along with the number 6 Porsche, and the best Toyota will only finish 5th as they finish their reign of dominance in this series. In the GT class, the Manthey Porsche has already secured the championship and now it turns to their teammates to secure second place. The main threat is coming from BMW and Aston Martin, and the three cars are very close. I think Team WRT BMW will take the class win. Augusto Farfus, Sean Galil and Darren Lung will secure second in the championship. We will of course see plenty of action from the GT class, so expect fireworks and drama.
The final round of World Endurance and the 8 Hours of Bahrain. This was, for me, the race of the weekend. The hypercar class has been a revelation, and this has been by far the most exciting championship of 2024. The number 6 Porsche crew had all but sewn up the hypercar championship, but the 50 Ferrari and 7 Toyota could technically still take it. Also, the Constructors was up in the air between the three. Meanwhile, in the GT class, Manthey Porsche have dominated and cruised to title glory, so it was on for the fight for second. In both classes, the story was, can anyone stop Porsche? Toyota on pole, so they gained a few points for that. It was a messy start to the race, and critically, the number 6 Porsche got pushed around a couple of times on lap 1. Sebastian Buemi got spun around from the lead by a GT car. All this happened in the first 20 minutes. The race was actually a very calm one after that. All of the championship contenders had issues, with the number 7 Toyota having intermittent gearbox problems. That eventually led to it retiring. And the 6 and 50 were down the back of the field. Through to the halfway point, the championship leading Porsche had made some progress back towards the front, and with the Toyotas having issues, it looked like Porsche were going to sweep all the gold after all. We got a safety car with an hour and a half left. That bunched the field up, and suddenly the number 6 Porsche had climbed to second. And with the 7 Toyota out, and the 50 Ferrari dropping to 12th after contact with an Alpine, the number 6 was in a great position, and so it was that they took the title. But it was not the clean sweep for Porsche. The number 8 Toyota rose up from its early spin to win in Bahrain. Toyota's 10th in 13 WEC races in Bahrain, and it was enough to give Toyota the manufacturers from Porsche by 2 points, whilst Porsche won everything else. GT class, they finished first and second. Privateers was basically all Porsches, so yeah, they won that too. They won everything except the manufacturer's title. Hardly seems worth it at all.
And can anyone step out of the pack and take a substantial lead in the championship? Probably not. If anyone is likely to, it's championship leaders Sho Tsuboi and Kenta Yamashita, especially with Tsuboi having the year of his life. But I think the win will go to the Stanley Honda of Naoki Yamamoto and Tadasuke Makino. I think there'll be 4 or 5 cars in with a chance of the championship post Motegi, and it will set up an exciting finale at Suzuka. Let's look at GT300, seeing as this is a quiet weekend. The Leon Mercedes leads the championship and has taken a couple of wins so far, but the class is also still very close. I think Hiroki Yoshida and Seita Nanaka will take the win in the Saitama Green Brave Toyota Supra, but the championship will still be anyone's for the taking at the final round at Suzuka.
Super GT and the penultimate round at Motegi. The last time out at Autopolis was one of the races of 2024. Could Motegi live up to it? Well, the GT300s were causing a lot of trouble, either breaking down or getting turned around like the 25 Supra. This was a mad race with the lead in both classes changing multiple times. We got a second stoppage after the 61 Subaru spun with some kind of brake issue, but it was the last 10 laps when things really got nuts. 3 cars hit each other and a GT300 Lexus got bounced onto the dirt. Nerei Fakazumi also broke down on the same lap, so a couple of GT500s were out. There was a great battle between Toshiki Oyu and Ren Sato for the last step on the podium that I'm honestly surprised didn't end up in a massive accident. Sho Suboi and Kenta Yamashita took the win, and now only need a top 5 finish in Suzuka to guarantee the title. All this with a weight disadvantage going into Motegi and a midfield start. It was a brilliant drive from both of them. The J-Lot Lamborghini took the win in GT300, second race in a row, but they are still behind the Leon Mercedes, which finished second at Motegi. It's between them at Suzuka, should be a good one, don't miss it.
NASCAR is going to be losing 4 more drivers, and I think the shock of the weekend will be another poor race for Kyle Larson, and he will be eliminated from the playoffs. This despite being the best driver. And it's completely pointless for Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick to turn up in Martinsville. The win, I think, will go to Christopher Bell. He'll secure his place in the Final 4, along with reigning champion Ryan Blaney, taking the final place. That leaves Larson, Denny Hamlin, William Byron and Chase Elliott out of the running. Only 2 races left in 2024. Who will win the Cup?
NASCAR from Martinsville, and we lost another 4 drivers here. No, they're not behind your fridge, they've just been knocked out of the playoffs. First playoff contender to hit trouble was Christopher Bell. Of course it was, I backed him to win after all. He spun in stage 1 and that was all that happened in the first 2 stages. All the action was in stage 3 and there wasn't much to speak of. Ryan Blaney took the win to get into the final 4 whilst Christopher Bell just missed out, even after bouncing himself off the wall at the final corner. He's joined by Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott. Meanwhile, our final 4 going into the final race this weekend are Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick and William Byron. Really feels like Kyle Larson has been shafted here.
And finally, Formula Regional America from COTA. Not very interested in this series. Patrick Woods-Toff is already champion and he's going to be absent from Texas. Quite a few debutants turning up for this one, so we will get 2 shock winners. Bruno Ribeiro will win on debut and Cole Kleck will win the final race of 2024, but it doesn't really matter. The top 2 of the championship aren't even going to be there.
Finally, let's talk about Formula Regional America. The final round of the year at COTA, the top 2 of the championship were not here, and there was no championship to fight for. There was absolutely no reason to watch these races in Texas. There was a safety car after Jake Pollock and Brady Golan needed clearing away, but nothing really happened in race 1. Titus Sherlock won, and technically could still finish second in the championship, but Bruno Ribeiro was not going to let him, taking his first win in the series to finish up 2024. Patrick Woods-Toff is the champion, and I'm sure we'll see more of him. Everyone else, maybe not. So that was all the action from the past weekend. My race of the weekend is surprisingly the Motegi race from Super GT, another cracker of a race from Japan. It was top quality, but the World Endurance is a close second. Next weekend we have a whole host of championships finishing up for 2024, including the final round of NASCAR from Phoenix, the final round of World Rallycross from Turkey, spoilers, Johan Kristoffersson is going to be champion, the final 2 races of Super Formula from Suzuka, and the final round of Euro Cup 3 from Barcelona. Not a lot, so no predictions, but I might do a roundup next week if something interesting happens. So make sure you subscribe, tell me your race of the weekend in the comments, along with any other thoughts you may have. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.